today we are going to do a simple Betta scape, and the first thing I need to say is that I am not sponsored by Fluval. These were all purchased by myself. I actually really like the brand. It tends to be quite reliable for me, so I just picked up these few for this tank I've been given by a friend. I'm using the Fluval U2 for the first time. This aquarium is actually going in a bedroom, so I did a bit of research and this should be one of the quietest ones available on the market for this size tank. I'll just show you the inside of it. We've got a section here for the mechanical filtration and a centre box for the biological filtration, which has got some ceramic beads in it. And there is another mechanical filtration on the other side. So the caps are quite easy to slide off, and in there we have got a pad with fine filter floss and carbon and a coarse filter floss in it as well. So easy to clean and replace if needed. I'm going to be putting a base in here. There will be a few stem plants, so I'm using the bag method. So these are just some little basically bags with holes in them, and I'm using some old fluval stratum that I've got from a previous scape and mixing it with some new substrate to ensure that there's plenty of nutrients available. So I only need to fill the bags half full because it's a relatively low scape. The bag method just means that there won't be any bits of substrate poking up above the sand and gravel if any of the fish decide that they want to be a bit of a digger. And then I'm just popping some gravel on top. Again, this just adds to the surface area for the bacteria to build up, just helps maintain the nitrogen cycle a little bit better, and just sloping it up towards the back. And we're going to pop in some root tabs now. These are going to be good for the plants that are putting roots into the substrate, so I'm doing this in the gravel layer just above the fluval stratum, and what this will do is just help the plants put some healthy roots in. So I'm breaking it into smaller pieces so that I can just spread it around a little more throughout the tank where the plants will be. And this is going to be nice and simple in terms of hardscape. I've got a couple of nice bits of bogwood here. These are ones that are a bit more rounded than some of the other wood that I've got, so should be helpful for any long-finned bettas. And then I'm just popping in some Cerio stone. This wood has been in a scape before, but has been out of water for a while, so may float. So the stone adds both some interest and some contact points for me to be able to attach the wood to stop it from floating. And just filling in a few of the voids with some more stone. So this is the super glue and tissue method, so just popping in some little bits of tissue in between the contact points between the wood and the stone. And then using a bit of liquid super glue and just soaking that will make the tissue go hard and stick the wood to the rock. As long as it's cyanoacrylate super glue, it is fish safe. These basically harden like plastic, so if you give them an hour or so, then it will harden and become inert in the water. So just doing as many of these as possible, just to try and stop the wood from floating up. just pulling back some of the gravel from the front edge and adding in a decorative sand layer here. This is just a bit of a mix of kind of more golden and white sand that I mixed together. I don't have a huge amount of the whiter sand which I prefer, so I mixed it with a more orange sand because I didn't want it to be entirely orange. So we've got a lot of plants here. We've got some Lilaeopsis mauritiana, some Echinodorus. These are quite heavy on the nutrient pool, so we'll see how they'll do in the scape. We've then got some Cryptocoryne, some undulatus green here, and some Bucephalandra theia green. Those will go on the hardscape. So these are epiphytes, so they actually prefer to take nutrients from the water column through their roots rather than being planted in substrate. So these will give some nice rest places for the Betta when we get it, and the same with the Anubias here. They are also some epiphytes. For stems, we've got some Rotala wallichii, which is a fast grower, and we've got a bit of Ludwigia peruviana, which is reddish, and another epiphyte, Bolbitis, which is nice and ferny. It is one of my favourite plants at the moment. So quite a few plants. You don't have to buy any of these to begin with, but I was a little bit impatient for this one, so didn't want to wait for too much to grow in. So we're going to start with the biggest plants. This is the Echinodorus. These are Amazon swords. They tend to grow to quite tall, but I have picked a species that should stay to the height of the aquarium, so shouldn't go bigger than that, which will be good because this aquarium will have a lid on it. So get those at the back in the areas where we've put the nutrient tablets. And I'm just going to scatter around the Ludwigia and the Rotala, just so that we've got a nice mix. I'm not being too precious about where I put it, just what I feel looks nice, and fundamentally trying to keep all of the taller plants towards the back. The Rotala's leaves you can see are quite small at the moment, but they will change. This is out of water growth. Just using a little bit of gel superglue this time to affix the epiphytes on bits of wood. You can actually tuck them into little nooks if you've got them available, but towards the top here I want to reduce the flow from the filter, so I'm just gluing it in front and then adding in some bits of Anubias. This isn't the Anubias Nana Petite that I bought, this is actually some Anubias from another scape that I had left available, and I just like the difference in leaf shape throughout this scape. I'm tucking the crypts down here. They tend to do better under low lighting than some of the other stems. So these are being tucked in places which may not get as much light, just to give a bit of green around those areas. And then just adding in those smaller epiphytes into little areas to just fill it out a bit more. And now just the Lilaeopsis. This is a species that I haven't used before, so I think it's going to grow quite tall, but I'm trying to keep it tucked around the edge so that there's still a bit of front space if any of the fish that I put in here would like it. And now filling up the aquarium. So for this scape I actually wanted the plants to grow in and for it to mature because there's a lot of new stuff in this aquarium, so I wanted to leave it to settle for a couple of weeks before putting fish in. So I popped the filter on and turned the light on and left it to settle and for a couple of weeks. So this is actually about 3 weeks later. You can see that the Rotala has grown quite tall now, so needs a bit of a trim down. And I have popped in a few initial community fish into here. We've got some pencilfish, which I do love in my other tanks, so this is a slightly different species from the Beckfords. And we've also got some ruby tetra in here. And a lone ember tetra, as you can see there, that came with the rubies. So this tank is lovely and settled now. For full disclosure, we did have a problem with some of the plants actually melting. So what I did for the 2 weeks prior to getting the fish, allowing it to mature, was to fundamentally leave it in place with a kind of sunrise sunset timer on the light. But unfortunately what I did forget to do was dose it with fertiliser during that period. So the stems did really well because they had the nutrients in the substrate, but some of the epiphytes, so a couple of the Anubiases and the Bolbitis, did actually melt entirely. So I picked up some new of those, popped those in, and then got myself a Betta. So this now is actually about 5 weeks later, and this is our lovely plakat Betta. I've had a better experience previously with a plakat Betta as opposed to one of the fancy Bettas. Their temperament just seems to be a lot more calm and curious. I've avoided getting another Betta for a long time now until I could get an aquarium with a lid. This one has got a lid, a mesh lid on it, so I have no worries about the Betta jumping out. So when we got the Betta, I got in a few more of the community fish just to fill out the schools, and everyone is settled really well into the aquarium at the moment. We've got some of the suckermouth catfish in here as well. These are Otocinclus. As well as the Otocinclus, we do have some snails in for a cleanup crew. There are some bladder snails in here, but we do also have a nerite snail, tiger nerite snail in here. He blends in very well with the wood, so we haven't seen him yet in this video. I'm going to leave you with some video now of the aquarium. I do hope you enjoy this simple build. Please do like and subscribe if you do, and I will see you again in the next one.